All right, class, we're going to continue on with notes for 4.5, and now we're going to start moving into, we've been doing adding and subtracting with mixed numbers. Today we're going to start looking at multiplying, okay? So part of that's going to involve converting mixed numbers into improper fractions. So we've been doing the improper fractions to mixed numbers. Now we're going to look at that in the other direction if we're given a mixed number, changing it to improper fractions, because that's the way we want to see them when we multiply. Okay, so just starting off, some skills minus, just adding the fractions. And you know, if you have repeated addition, that's similar to multiplication, but they do want us to convert it to a mixed number when we're done. So these all have common denominators of 2, so I can just add all of the numerators. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1, well, that would be 7. So I get, for my answer, I will have 7 on top and 2 on the bottom. And then we are supposed to convert that to a mixed number. So then I would take 7 divided by 2. 2 goes into 7 3 times, which is 6, a remainder of 1, so that would be 3 1/2. Okay. The next one, we've got 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3s. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 2 more is 17. So I'm going to get 17 over 3. Now I'm going to divide that out. 17 divided by 3. 3 goes into 17 5 times, and that's 15. So my remainder then is 2. So I get 5 2/3. Before we go on to this last one, I want to see if you can notice this pattern. Okay, so look at the way they set these problems up. So 2 over 2 plus 2 over 2 plus 2 over 2. Now you know that anything that's over itself is equal to 1, right? So really 2 over 2 is 1. So that's 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is 3, right? Which is what I got there. Plus the remaining 1/2, 3 1/2. And when we added them, we got 7 halves, which it should be, but that's equal to 3 1/2, which we worked out over here. So it's kind of easy to see 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1/2 is going to be 3 1/2. In a similar way here, we had 3 over 3 for all of these first fractions, which are all equal to 1, right? So we have 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. That was 5 of them, right? 5 ones. And then what else was left there? 2/3. 5 2/3. So the 17/3, when I converted it out, 5 2/3. So let's think about this one. 7 over 7 plus 7 over 7. Well, that's 1 plus 1, and then plus another 5/7, right? So it's going to be 2 5/7. Well, let's do the work like we did before. 7 plus 7 is 14, plus 5 is 19. So I get 19 over 7. And if I divide that, 19 divided by 7 goes in there twice. 19 minus 14 is 5. So I get 2 5/7. And that's exactly what we anticipated it would be, because 2, right? 7 over 7, those are each 1. 7 over 7 plus 7 over 7 is 2. 1 plus 1 is 2, and then 5/7 is left over. Okay? And so with that pattern in mind, let's see if we can do the rest of these and just go directly to our mixed number answer. So each one of these is equal to 1, right? 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 3/8. Well, that's pretty easy. It's going to be 3 3/8, right? Right here. Each one of these 4 over 4s is 1, right? 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, and then plus 3/4, right? Well, how many ones was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 3/4, right? Each one of these, I'm not even going to write ones under them, because we know that any number over itself is 1. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another 7/9. 4 7/9. And then the last one, there's just 1, 10 over 10, so that's 1, and then what's left over is 9/10, so 1 9/10. Okay. All right, so what we're going to be doing now, converting mixed numbers into improper fractions. So we're going to go the other direction here. And the way that we do that, okay, let me go back to what we were doing here, where we had the two of them side by side. So what we saw was that, to go from this to our mixed number, we divided those out, right? So when we divide, that means that we divide the 19 by 7, and then we're subtracting to get that remainder. So we kind of do this process in reverse. What we do is we take the big number times the denominator now, and then we add back the top number. So like 2 times 7 is 14, plus 5 is the 19 that I would have had up there. Right here, 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 more gives me the 17 right there. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is the 7 that I have on top, and then the denominator stays the same. Okay, so that's the way we do it. So when I figure these out, it's 1 times 3 plus the top number. Okay, 1 times 3, that's 3. 3 plus 2 is 5, and that's my top number. The bottom number is going to stay just that 3. That's right there. So 1 times 3 plus 2, 5/3. Okay, so that's how we do that. Okay, changing this one to an improper fraction. 8 times 5 plus 3. 8 times 5 plus 3. Okay, and I'm always going to have that answer over. It's going to be over the same denominator. So 8 times 5 is 40, and 40 plus 3 is 43. So I would get 43 over 5. Okay, so it's always this number times this number, and then so you're going to times there, and then you're going to add right there. Okay. Okay, it says change the mixed numbers into improper fractions so that we can multiply. All right, so here's what we need to do. And, well, we just did these two, okay? So we saw that this 8 3/5 was going to be 43/5, and then the 1 2/3 was 5/3. Now to multiply that, okay, now we've got kind of some big numbers, but now remember when you multiply fractions, you just multiply across. 43 times 5 and 5 times 3. Well, to help us out, looks like we can cancel, right? Because we have a 5 there and a 5 there. So now it's a little easier. 43 times 1 is just 43, and 1 times 3 is 3. Now if we were going to convert this back to a mixed number, it doesn't ask us to, but it's probably what you would have to do. So 43 divided by 3. So 3 goes into 4 once, and then we subtract, we get 13. So I bring this 3 down, so 3 goes into 13 4 times, and we get a remainder of 1, so it would be 14 and 1/4. Okay, so we can, depending on what the directions ask, this would be our improper fraction answer, this would be our mixed number answer. Okay, now here it's just asking us to convert the mixed numbers into improper fractions, okay? So 9 times 5 plus 2, and then our denominator will stay a 5, okay? 9 times 5, that's 45, plus 2 is 47, so I get 47 over 5. Okay. This one here, okay, so remember it's multiply here, and then it's add your top number. 7 times 4 plus 3, bottom number is a 4, so I get 7 times 4 is 28, plus 3, 28 plus 3 is 31. So I get 31 over 4. Okay, here again, multiply 8 times 9, and then add the top number. So 8 times 9 plus 5 over 9. Okay, 8 times 9 is 72, plus 5, 72 plus 5 is 77. So I get 77 over 9. And this one, 3 times 8, we're going to multiply there, and then we're going to add 7. 3 times 8 plus 7 over 8. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 7 over 8, so that's going to be 31 over 8. Okay, and that's it. So we're just really going to work on converting improper fractions into, or I'm sorry, converting mixed numbers into improper fractions. We'll concentrate on the multiplying them in the upcoming sections.